Hey, CrossFit 5282 Nation. So we got our workout for Monday. This is day 5 of our home workouts here. This one's called Mirror Effect. There is a lot of burpees in this one. So we're going to talk about what you can do in lieu of some burpees or add it in with the burpees, and a lot of running. So this one's a lot of straight up cardio. So we're going to talk about a little skill session to kind of some strength stuff you can do before workouts like this, because you are going to get plenty of conditioning and cardiovascular work, but we want to keep up our skills in our weightlifting, even if we're not using weight, but keep up our skills in our Olympic lifting. And then we also want to keep adding in some of the body weight gymnastic stuff, so you can really keep, I mean, you've seen gymnasts, they have lots of muscles and they do everything with body weight. So our workout for today is going to be the same for everybody because there's no equipment needed really. It's a mile run with a 10-minute cap on that run. So if you finish it in 8.5 minutes, you get a minute and a half to rest before you do your 100 burpees. And then you got a 10-minute cap on that. So say it takes you 9 minutes to do those burpees. Now you got a minute of rest, and then it's another mile run. So you're probably looking at, even the fastest people are going to be in the 27, 28 minute range for that workout. Then you got a little bit of recovery. I'd probably go about 5 minutes recovery-wise. And then we're going to do a death by here. So we'll probably use this quite a bit in the next few weeks. Death by anything, which today is going to be burpees, is basically on the minute for as long as you can go, and you're going to add a rep every minute. So on this one, you're going to start with your first round is 5 burpees. So that's your first minute. Second minute, 6 burpees. Third minute, 7 burpees. And you just keep adding a rep until you can't get them done in that minute. So basically to failure. And that's one of those where it gets very cumulative very quickly. Okay, so let's talk about our warm-up for today's workout. I want you to go out on a little 400-meter path that you have set out. The first 200 meters, just make it a fast walk. We're trying to loosen up the calves and the feet and the ankles. And then when you hit that 200-meter mark, turn around and just an easy jog in. So you jog back in, everything's getting a little bit of blood flow into the muscles in that position, in that part. So now we're going to do a little calf stretching. So go up to your wall. We're going to start out with this static stretch. Heel's going to be anchored, knees straight. This one you're going to really feel deep in the calf here. This is going to get that gastroc stretched out a little bit. Then you're going to switch legs, 30 seconds on both sides. And then your next one is going to be come up this way. Now you're going to put the toe there. Keep that knee straight and kind of drive it in. Get a little stretch of that calf. You're going to feel this slightly differently in the calf. 30 seconds on each side there. And then the last one here is anchor that heel back. Keep the heel down, but drive that knee into a little bit of flexion. So now we're going to get that ankle stretched out a little bit, mimicking that kind of running posture and position there. And then 30 seconds on both sides of those. So you get the calves and the ankles warmed up a little bit. Next one, we're going to get the wrists loosened up a little bit here. So let's get down on our hands and knees here. We're going to put those fingers facing away from us and just kind of press over the top. Give it 15 or 20 seconds. And you're going to go out to the side, and then we're going to kind of rock to one side, 15 or 20 seconds, rock to the other side. And you kind of go back and forth with those. Then to try to really get that wrist opened up, fingers facing the legs, keep the palm on the ground. Now you're going to really sit back into that stretch. Try to let everything stretch out into those forearms. Then let's get the other side. I like to try to get the elbows straight, kind of interlock the fingers here, and just kind of rock back and forth. Try to get that wrist flexion working. There you go, loosen all that stuff up. All right, so now you got some blood flowing in all the extremities here. Because we're going to do some skill work, now we're going to get into something called a deck squat. And we're going to do a few of these, and I'm going to give you some modifications for them, and you could use these in the workout as well. So with that deck squat, what we're working on is that squatting position. So we're going to get down into that squat position, then you're just going to roll back into it, use a little momentum, sit back up, and try to stand yourself back up. So it looks like this again. Sit all the way down, roll back into it, pop yourself up, and then then stand yourself back up. That's the hardest version of this with no weight of any kind. If you have a little weight, you can use that and kind of pull yourself up. You know, it could be a big water bottle or something, but that little bit of counterbalance will help. I think the next option would be you have an ottoman that's soft, or even a coffee table, and you put a couple towels on it. Now you can just sit at the end of that ottoman. You can just roll yourself back, and then you can just stand yourself back up. Obviously, the lower you get, the harder you're going to have to work in that position. I think this can also be a good modification, or maybe you cut it in half of doing your traditional burpee position, and then you can do this as your kind of reverse burpee position. So you can even make this where you roll yourself back, kick your legs out, sit back up, don't use your hands at all. You know, now you're going to be working the core muscles a lot more in that kind of sit-up abdominal crunch position. And it'll take away from all that pressing you have to do in the burpee to kind of balance that out a little bit. So you can throw that into the 100 burpees here. Maybe you do 10 burpees, then you do 10 reverse burpees, and you work through it like that, so you're hitting 50 of each. Or you could add them into these, and you do 3 burpees, 2 reverse, and 3 burpees, 3 reverse, and you just keep kind of adding them in like that. All right, you should be ready to go. Knock this workout out. In the next video, we're going to talk about our skill work that we can do before this workout.